The latest controversy comes exactly 10 years since the passage of the Bomas draft that split the political class right down the middle. The document passed on the 15th of March 2004 proposed, among other things, the position of Prime Minister in a total of 14 regions in the country. Many of those who were involved in the process now believe the country is paying for the mistakes it made at Bomas. KTN's senior political reporter Sam Ogina looks back on a day that still has a huge bearing on Kenya's politics today.
It was a draft that was meant to set the country on a path to constitutional change. Instead, it set the stage for one of the most contentious periods in Kenya's recent history.
And so the management of these processes was not always up to scratch. I just didn't feel enough dialogue, enough discussions, with sufficient good faith, or sufficient commitment to the general goodwill of the country. That was missing. It was a very fractured.
At some point in the process of Bomas, people decided to reject that. Politicians interfered with it. It was taken to Naivasha, from Naivasha to Kilifi, and that's how we ended up with a draft that we now call the Bomas. We're calling it the Bomas draft, but actually it was the Wako draft.
The document passed at Bomas exactly 10 years ago was the culmination of many years of struggle. The Constitution of Kenya Review Commission, under the chairmanship of Yashpal Gai, was set up at the height of political cooperation between the then President Daniel Arap Moi and then opposition leader Raila Odinga. But a group of religious leaders and civil society coalesced together to draft a parallel document under the banner of the Ufungamano Initiative.
Professor Gai was very wise at some point. In fact, from the outset, he actually took the view that we should not have two processes going on. And so he sought permission to get a merger from President Moi.
The merger produced the contentious Bomas draft that had proposed the creation of 14 regions and a parliamentary system of government with a prime minister and a president. But divisions and mistrust prevalent at the time aborted the document, which was later amended by the then Attorney General Amos Wako in Kilifi. The Kilifi draft would receive a resounding defeat in the 2005 referendum.
And that was the beginning of some of the problems we have experienced to this day, because I think ODM was gone. I'm not saying ODM was a problem, but clearly the heavy ethnicization of Kenyan politics became more structured, and it was then the whole issue of 41 versus 1 began to be born.
We have the People's Choice at Bomas. Then we have the Wako draft. I don't know whose choice that was, but for us who are sitting in CKR7 and the delegates who sat in Bomas for almost 1 year, that was not our draft. That was the draft by the politicians and those people in power, and the kind of draft that they wanted.
Exactly a decade later, after the Bomas initiative and 4 years after the promulgation of a new constitution, the country heads to the drawing board to audit its supreme law. The architects involved conceding the constitution has its flaws.
I think it is time to do an audit and to find what areas can be cleaned up.
Sam Ogina, KTN.